Alas, we have no bananas. There's no bananas in this. Hey, y'all, come on in.
We got a surprise package today from Zingari Man.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat and meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about the Big Apple. This introduced us to Apple Brandy on the Rocks by Killian. So we went over to Dua to find their homage. Here are the scent notes: cardamom, bergamot, rum, apple, pineapple, brandy, vanilla, moss, ambroxan, and cedar.
And y'all, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. This confirms for me that the heart of this is a giant, juicy, natural red apple. A bit surprising if you know the Killian line. Everything else is swirling so far under the surface, it's like I'm holding a brandy under an apple tree, and I love this thing and how potent it's not.
It's actually super good timing to wear this during summer. There's something in the apple that almost has like a lighter apple blossom or an apple juice side somehow. It's just in the lighter sides more than I was expecting, but I really enjoy it.
And these Dua homages are amazing. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is coconut nanas. So after realizing that nanas is not bananas, I did some research, and there's two perfumers involved in this. The second one is located in Malaysia, and it turns out in their language, Malay, pineapple is actually nanas. So let's meet the soap.
All right, y'all, from the Collaborators tab at the Zingari Man website, a tropical indulgence bottled. Born from a collaboration between Zingari Man and Rirana Perfumes of Malaysia, Coconut Nanas captures the lush, sun-drenched beauty of the tropics with unapologetic vibrancy. The scent is playful yet refined, a tribute to the golden light on ocean water, the sweetness of fruit juice on warm skin, and the sweet escape of island time.
Coconut Nanas opens with the juicy brightness of ripe pineapple, vivid and welcoming, like the first sip of something cold under a swaying palm. Creamy coconut follows, rich yet balanced, wrapping the skin in a velvety warmth that speaks of sun, salt, and ease.
As the scent settles, soft woods and smooth musk emerge, grounding the sweetness in a subtle sensuality that lingers long after the sun has set. It's comfort without heaviness, radiance without sharpness, an olfactory postcard from paradise.
Crafted with care and imagination by two artisan houses a world apart, this fragrance blends playful nostalgia with a modern tropical elegance. Let Coconut Nanas transport you. No passport required.
No bananas either. And I know what you're thinking, without bananas, would this soap still be Lee Noon's approved? Well, we will know when we open the box. Y'all, we love getting our packages directly from the artisans. Look how beautifully they're packaged and with notes! Yay! We hope you enjoy the Zingari Man team. Aww. We have a little collection of these. Oh, y'all, a bit of a divergence from the normal label. Look at this. Oh, and there's something else in here. A sample for y'all. Which one is this?
Oh, actually, this is their Sago Shave Soap, but it's unscented.
This is perfect. We can smell this because I've always wondered what her base smells like on its own. Okay. Hold on a second. Here we go.
Dig in.
That smells just like a styrofoam factory. I got nothing.
Really?
What do you got?
Oh, barely anything.
Nice.
It almost seems like I put lotion on in the morning, and like that night is barely even a residue of anything.
Nothing.
I love it.
Whoa.
Who knew?
No wonder it's a great carrier for scent. Mm-hmm. All right, and y'all, this is what we have come to look at today. Yes. Look how beautiful that minimalist label is.
It does have little clues at the bottom. Look, we have coconut, pineapple, and peach.
And here's the Rirana logo, Rirana Perfumes. Ooh, I am excited. It's time for our first impression. All right, y'all, I love that Zingari Man come with a seal so that you know your schnoz is the first one that's ever been on this soap. And I want to see your eyes when you take this in. Let me know what you get. You get to go first. All right, here you go.
I'm excited for a tropical vacation. At least that's what it sounds like. So these are all fruits that I adore, so I'm even more excited. Here's the pour. I think this is their vegan base.
It is, right?
Yeah, here we go. Wow, that needs a really long
What are you getting?
Okay, whatever the blend is, I can tell that perfumers were involved because it is blended so well that my brain almost thought it was a whole different fruit, like all on its own. Like the way that they're blended, my brain was like, I don't think it's this. I don't think it's no. It has to be a new one because it just smells too good.
Love it.
But then, as I kept whiffing, hence the long whiff, I could tell the peach pineapple side are really good friends. Like it's the perfect amount of sweet that you know it's a real island with real fruit on it. And then the coconut side adds like a raw creaminess to it.
Right.
So it kind of keeps it from getting too sweet. It just brings it back to earth a little bit.
Right.
But these are like, if you could take each of the molecules from the fruits and pick out the best, juiciest, not sweetest, but most vibrant sides and put them together. I feel like that's the strategy they used here.
Gotcha. Y'all, we decided to do an EDP for our wedding favor. And just crafting that for fun has been such an education. You can't just buy a pineapple accord. You have to build it.
It's kind of fun because I feel like my brain was assuming we'd have something in our den that would be kind of close to this type of scent.
Right.
Like we do have a peach something, we do have a pineapple, we do have stuff with coconut. But they are blended here in such a different way. I feel like I'm visiting a new island. Like I haven't been to this vacation place before, but I do not want to leave. The first part of the whiff has like this fun, almost childlike vibrancy to it. Like it really makes you escape life because it is such a nice scent that you just want to dive in and experience more and avoid all the adulting that is around. You just want to whiff this.
Now, kind of like a Fruit Loops kind of fruity?
No.
When you say childlike?
No, but like to me, it almost reminds me of like when I was a little kid and I first got my allowance and I could go pick out a new lip gloss or a new lotion.
Right.
Like picking what scent you were going to spend your time with was a thing.
Yeah.
And there's something at the beginning of this that my little kid inner heart just is like super excited to keep whiffing. So it's bringing that nostalgia back somehow.
Right.
Then it turns super, I know, sophisticated, but there's that perfumer house edge that just is like the sparkle is turned up.
Right.
Like it's the fine version
Right.
of what I thought I was getting. I was like, no, keep whiffing. This is where it gets real good.
Right.
I can tell the peach is in there, but it's not a peach. Like normally I think we associate peach and a tobacco or peach with a something. It's just the peach in the juiciest type of side. And now knowing that you have to create your own pineapple,
Right.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft they used, but this is for sure the prettiest, most yellow, juicy, sweet pineapple we might have. I know the coconut is there, but it's kind of like a secret magician back there. It kind of changes how I see it. Like at first I thought I was seeing the outside, the husky side, and then I was like, no, I think it's the meat inside. Like I scooped it out with a spoon because it doesn't go super sweet. Like when coconut is dried, it's really, really sweet. Or like a coconut milk, it has a little bit more of almost like a nutty kind of side to it.
Yeah.
This is like the prettiest, not in your face coconut, but you need it in here or it will get too sweet.
How sweet's the whole thing?
Ooh. See, and even saying sweet, now I feel like that's not even the right word because it's more like a fine dining version. Like it's just been turned up.
Right.
But it's naturally sweet. That's how fruits are. They are made with sugars and stuff. That's their charm.
Right.
So it is sweet, but it's sweet in a new way.
Right.
It's kind of funny. I feel like I heard a rumor of it being more of like a pina colada thing. I'm not getting that. I'm really getting the real fruits and their vibrancy. You could turn this into a lovely drink, but the other ones that she's given us before were definitely meant to be a drink.
Right.
I don't think this one is. I think it's just meant to be that vibrancy of the fruit that you know you're on vacation on an island where you have shipped off and you are done with life. Like you're in vacation mode here.
And y'all, dipping our toes into the world of perfuming, one of the lectures that we watched was how to build a pineapple accord. Well, I thought you boil a pineapple, you take the oil, you put it in there, right?
Yeah.
Y'all, it doesn't work that way. It starts off by going, all right, we're going to use some cis-3-hexanol. And you're like, oh, artificial ingredients. And they're like, no. When you boil a pineapple and you put that gas through a mass spectrometer, that's one of the chemicals that is naturally inside of that aroma. And it's available to perfumers as a basic raw material. Y'all, my head exploded. So when you build a pineapple scent for a soap like this, it's at the very minimum 4 or 5 different things that are in naturally pineapple, but have been pulled out and given to the perfumer on a palette for them to color with. So talk about being able to dive in and adjust all of the nooks and crannies inside of these fruit scents. I'm a little scared this show might start to get a little more on the technical side as we go merrily forward, but that's the fun part for me now. All right, here we go. Taking this in. Let's see what we get. Ooh.
What, you were expecting it
But
all?
that's just it. That's just it. I am so glad we are reviewing this right after we have tried several perfuming experiments and failed miserably, because now I can sense the building blocks and how they did this. They are turning up certain parts of the pineapple. They are turning up certain parts of the coconut and letting the others blend together in the base notes. This is gorgeous and unlike anything I've smelled before in how it's being compiled, because it's real, but it's got a filter over it. It's got like a nostalgic sweetness to the whole thing that just puts you in a good mood. Hold on a second. Oh, and I love that there's a layer for me of like playful, familiar fruits that opens the door. Like you said, that may be your inner child having recognized that layer of fruits that you know from when you're little. And then that breaks open, pow, and you hit the second layer of fruits that are a little bit more unfamiliar, but are tropical. So I would not be surprised to see hints of things like guava under the surface of this, because that's the second layer that my nose hits. And I know there are some raw materials that are like the pulpiness inside of fruits and things like that. These are being constructed. How beautiful.
Yeah, I'm glad they listed those three on the lid, because I think it helped me figure out what lane, because my brain would have said like papaya, anything fancy fruit.
Right,
It wanted
on
to
the
throw
second
in there.
layer, right? Those unfamiliar but certainly more tropical and more grown-up fruit accords are there. And then underneath it all, I'm trying to decide if there's like a powdery sense that's standing in for what a banana might do. So you know how banana has kind of a starchiness to it that was so beautifully captured in Rabid Banana over at PAA? This is kind of doing that same thing, but without the banana, with kind of a powdery, starchy note at the very bottom that is almost like something in a vanilla ice cream that's been taken out and put at the very bottom of your fruit salad. Maybe a little sweet Greek yogurt or something like that I'm finding at the bottom of this.
I think that's why my brain was deconstructing the coconut, because I was trying to find what layer of the coconut could be creating that.
And the sweetness and the pulpiness of the fruit are in a perfect yin-yang balance. If one had gone a little too sweet in the woods and spices or in the fruits, that would have suddenly become the star. But this balance is so precarious and so perfect that when those come together, you are getting those brand new flashes of light, of new scents that you're unfamiliar with, built of bricks that you already know so well. And after the distiller and El Cantonero, you know what I kind of like? This zooms in on the drink. Those two soaps gave me a vibe of the place that I was at as well. This is like savoring that first sip of a beautiful, frosty, blended drink far away with a beach surrounding the little hut where you're sitting. It's like a tropical punch in an Armani suit.
There you go.
And y'all, if I'm really going to paint a picture of this, there is almost at the very middle something soft and cottony or soft and clovery in the middle of this that's standing in for what a vetiver might have done in a fine perfume. And I think this is a smarter choice, but it's what makes it wearable. It's what makes me want to put this drink on my shoulders and my pulse points and enjoy it all day long. And I think this is the mark of a great perfumer. It is just as sweet as I would want my childhood fruit juices to be, because when you're little, you want those awfully sweet. But then somehow when you step back, the entire sweetness is then subdued by that middle layer of what I'm sensing is guava, papaya, those kind of tropical muddled senses arresting that sweet by the time it gets to be about, here.
Like you could still wear this at a business meeting somehow, and I don't know how they pulled that off.
And the thing is, look at my face. Barely. You're not going to be sitting over there with the Aventus guys, but absolutely at home in a boardroom somehow. And speaking of writing lines, why don't we go back to the scent notes, look for my guava, and build a lather with this sensational vegan base. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at ZingariMan.com. Looking at these, we might have cracked a little bit of a code here, starting with top notes of
pineapple and citrus.
And those beautiful familiar fruits that you loved when you were little. And then my second layer of heart notes. What do we got here?
Coconut cream and fruity accord.
That's where I think the guava and the papaya and those things are swirling around. I think it starts with fruits that you know so well, you'd know them nose blind, and then it dives you down into fruits that you don't, and it lets those connect. It's almost like how you would teach a child how to love guava or papaya. Give them a pineapple, give them something they know that's slightly tropical, and then say, now, you want to go a little deeper? Try a little bit of this guava with it. That's kind of what this is doing for me, because I am loving that fruit accord in the middle. And then look where this dives down for the base notes.
Soft woods and musk. That's where my brain thought it was the outside of the coconut for some reason. Like I was getting that raw brown kind of shredded stuff.
And we were looking for a soft wood for our little concoction. Cedar was not doing it. It was way too peppery. What wood did she put in this? Because I might borrow it. What are you getting in there? Is it like a mahogany?
Oh, we might have to lather to figure this out. It's blended in there so well, it escapes into the coconut, like it recircles back up somehow.
And y'all, how do I not get my tiki brush out? This was made by Craig at Opus Brush on his CNC machine. It is incredible. A little homage to that tiki idol that the Brady kids found. You know, on Vincent Price's Island, which was really a soundstage in Century City. My Captain's Choice Aquamarine bowl. I thought this be fitting, this very dapper shave today.
Oh, the vegan base.
Beautifully soft, and I'm just going to push that into the ridges of the bowl. So kind of the way we like to do it here in the Barbershop Duet is approximate a tub load in the bowl, which means I'm going to almost recreate the top of a soap puck here at the bottom of this shaving bowl. Little heat, little friction, get it as smooth and even as possible so that that brush is just going to pull up a layer of it. And also the little heat from your fingers, that friction against this copper, makes a beautiful scent. What are you getting from that? It's like a bloom.
Oh, it totally is. Actually, that middle part, okay, whatever that fruity accord is, it shifts a lot on each whiff. Sometimes I get more the guava side, sometimes I get the peach, just whatever you were mentioning, it keeps switching.
And this makes me need to invent a profanity scale. I've said this from the beginning. There are certain soaps that make me smile, but there are certain soaps that go so deep in the middle, and my nose is able to find those nooks and crannies that I swear. So we should probably have a rating from like damn all the way through.
But knowing Heather, she likes to use those words, so she would understand.
Heather understands the glory of those words. Yeah, we have one of these in the collection that we can't show.
Yeah, it's true.
I love her. So we're just going to add a little bit of water to this drink here before we put it in the blender and mix it up. And really what we're doing is a little bit of a lateral bloom here. We're going to let that water sit at the bottom of the bowl. It's going to wet the bristles just enough so we don't have to soak it. I know my eyebrows went all the way up when Craig said this, but he made the brush, so he gets to call the shots. And you can send an email to him if you have questions. All right, y'all, I'm just going to go forwards and backwards and start loading that soap onto these beautiful natural fiber hair bristles here. And then once they've done a pretty good job of getting most of the soap up, I'm going to turn the brush and give those bristles a second orientation at which to come with that soap and grab a bunch more of it.
It is smelling good already,
oh
just
God.
From right here.
Y'all, this might be the best transition of a soap to a lather I have smelled yet, and we have barely gotten started.
I'm actually super glad that we opened this today because it's like 50 degrees outside and foggy. It does not feel like June here.
Our neighbors lit their fireplaces last night, y'all, but it is summer in San Francisco. We've been warned. All right, y'all, now that most of the soap is in there among the trees, I'm going to go and sop up the rest of that water. And now, this tool is ready to build a lather wherever you're going to put it. But right now, we're going to do it in the bowl. So we're going to keep going forwards and backwards. And we're going to start out with maybe a little bit of tiny bubbles. But y'all put on your favorite song. After about 3 minutes, look at this already. Amazing things.
Island music or something.
Yeah, calypso,
you know?
right?
Yeah. Usually when we bust out our gourmandy ones, somebody here wakes up because she's deaf, but her sniffer still works.
There's no mint in this, so she's going to stay asleep. She is a mix of Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and Spearmint Hound. Yeah, we just got done babysitting another Cavalier. He eats cardboard.
Yep.
Not here. I'm not giving him cardboard, but at home, he eats Amazon boxes. I mean, they call it recycling. Oh, look at this. I know we never talk about lather here at the Barbershop Duet, but y'all, this is a Badger brush. Look at that. Look at that. And y'all, this is something you only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Do You Enjoy Pina Coladas with. On 3, 1, 2. Damn. Oh, I get kind of a powdered sugar kind of vibe in there. And then once I'm in here, this is the real thing. Sitting sweaty in my glass on the table.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know if it's in the base here, but I love how it mixes together, but it's interesting to see once you add water, how things shift a little.
And I'm going to say something interesting.
Yeah?
I think this drink is appropriate for young children. I don't sense any alcohol.
I don't know if it's actually a drink right up, but I think we just all assume because our last few have been. But I don't think this necessarily is meant to be a drink.
You put the lime in the coconut and shake it all about. But hold on. This stays in that beautiful, fruity, wonderland without having to go at all boozy.
Yep.
But there is one or two little spicy notes under the surface, and I think that's why my nose is going in that direction. But y'all, if you love the distiller like we do, if you love El Cantonero like we do, this is a different kind of adventure.
Yes.
This is an 8 o'clock in the morning adventure where this is going to be sitting next to a plate of pancakes, macadamia kind.
I do love the sentence, an olfactory postcard from paradise.
Right.
That explains it. All you need to know right there.
And that musk is allowing this to settle on a bed of something soft where the booziness would have normally taken over in the other two soaps. This doesn't. It's almost like it sets it down in the warm sand next to your beach towel. And I can almost somehow smell the sunlight.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be sun, or it's before sunset completely has hit. Like, it's still the daytime adventure kind of stuff.
I have not said this in a while, but what a frickin' charmer this is. It's a good thing I'm not wearing pants, because it would have already charmed the pants off of me. And y'all, when we watch our Texan shaves, we love seeing how that lather coats and covers Barry's face. And while we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, we do want to show you. Look at this, guys. Oh, amazing. Look at that. Hold on. I'm going to do a little too.
You know what's interesting? I don't know if I immediately would know that this is a vegan base. It's so padded. A lot of the times the vegans ones to me just have a little more slickness that hits first. This one, I still feel like it's super padded.
I feel the butters in this.
We're going to have to rock, paper, scissors to see who shaves with this later. I'm just saying.
Well, for that competition, why don't we take this down a little bit deeper? Well, y'all, having dipped our toes a bit into the grown-up world of actual perfuming, in fact, here is a picture of our shame that we made the other night. It'd be really easy for me to say this smells exactly like the real pineapple, exactly like the real coconut, but in fact, it does not. It smells better. Yeah. And it smells better because we now know how this perfumer was able to dive into those beautiful chemicals. And hold on, water is a chemical, right? That's just what they call molecules. Was able to dive down into the actual natural building blocks of how our favorite fruits are made and turn certain things up, certain things down, so that when they do click together, it's with a magic and a cleverness that makes you say words.
Yep. It's funny how you could easily just say that this could be a simple scent, because there's just 3 listed on the label. If that's the first thing you read, you would not be expecting the tears that are actually in your whiffs.
In fact, I think we would be absolutely remiss to not include coconut nanas in our 2025 masterpiece collection, y'all. And what a beautiful void it is filling. Something absolutely childlike, but something absolutely grown up in its balance for you to enjoy on a beautiful summer morning in your shade mirror. And then again around Christmas time, if you need to feel a little bit of that warmth of the sun on your face.
I was just going to say that. When I feel like I need a tropical escape, this is probably one of those ones I'm going to grab just because I need to escape and feel like there's sun on my face.
And you know, hold on a second. We've now done 600 episodes. We're going to start going a little bit deeper on very certain things. How is this different from the tropical blends that we have experienced before? Every single pokey has been balanced out of this, and then there is one little carving out of the middle that is being filled with a little bit of a cotton-ish musk in the middle. The difference is the perfumer has been able to dive in and make serious, tiny adjustments to this formula. So when it washes over you, it's the feeling of getting in a warm bath that is just the right temperature.
It's interesting because I feel like a lot of people get weary of coconut. So it's interesting that that's the first part of the name on this, because that's not exactly what I think I would have thrown in first when I took a whiff.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be on your first visit to Castaway Cay, Disney's own private island in the Bahamas. And you're going to walk up to this beautiful tiki bar right there on the water. And he's going to say, "What'll you have?" Well, you're going to look over the Palomas. You're going to look over the Manhattans. But at the end of the day, you're just going to grab yourself a gorgeous fruit smoothie and get your own. So head over to ZingariMan.com where you'll find this and everything else I want in the world. Well, I have had my shave, y'all, with coconut nanas, a beautiful tropical fruit accord done differently, done from the outside in. So you're not inundated with the sweet pulpiness of the fruit. You get all of the beautiful tropical silhouettes that are what you envision when you see yourself propped up against that palm tree on a desert island without a care in the world. And this is where this takes me. Heather, thank you so much for sending this out for us. We will be back. Welcome to Messages.
So for our July giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get this custom brush from Opus Brush.
Well, Craig made this just for our show to give away to y'all. And all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our August episode to see if you are the lucky new owner of this magnificent brush.
Best of luck.
Okay, so let's have a grown-up conversation.
All right.
Having read the set notes and
Yes.
having seen the note about how it's not bananas, it's a pineapple accord, it did really point my nose in the right direction. This is kind of what I was expecting. But y'all, I wasn't expecting how deep, how beautiful, how luxurious, or how cleverly the set notes of these accords were going to bind together to present new things to me out of the ultra familiar. And that's the job of a good perfumer. What a fabulous set this is.
It is one of those ones you want to keep smelling because I feel like the fruit accord inside kind of flips and changes with each whiff. I don't think you get bored of it just because you think you're reading it's those 3 scents. It is not. There's lots to discover within this lovely fruitiness happening.
And just to the point where it gets too real, it starts to get more whimsical and childish again. And just about the time it gets too whimsical and childish, it goes back to being more real and guava and papaya-ish. And that movement, that do-si-do, that little waltz going on in here is the money.
I'm so glad we have this for another summer whiff in our den because it was needed. I didn't know we needed it, but now that I got a whiff, we definitely did. Thank you so much, Heather, for sending this out. We are so appreciative of you supporting our channel. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.